Hello everyone, it's Kevin at Creality, and today I'm going to connect 1, 2, 3 CFS to my K2 Plus. I'm using the cables that come with the CFS. So as you can see, I've got one. This is how I received it. In my pre-order, I received one CFS with my K2 Plus. I've got the little short cable going from the filament there to the CFS, the long cable going from the CFS down to the printer. I'm going to unplug that one from the printer and connect it here to my second CFS. Now, if I only had 2 CFS, I would connect this second port from there back to the printer, and I would be done. But I want to go to 3 CFS, so I'm going to hop over here and plug it into this one, third CFS. And you can see the cable's long enough to go across the entire printer. I'm going to go from the third CFS. Oh, by the way, it doesn't matter which port you plug it into. I can plug this into, let me unplug these. I can plug this into the farther port if I want to. Doesn't really matter, these ports are interchangeable. So now I can go from the inside port, and where am I going with that? Back to the printer, you guessed it. That's as easy as it gets. I've got it going from the filament, the little short line going to the CFS. So I've got the long line going from this CFS to this one. You can go into either port, go from this one back over to this one, either port, go from this one back to the printer. That's as simple as it is. Now I've got 12 colors to choose from. I've got one CFS sitting on top and one on each side. The cables are long enough. Yes, if I want to put it farther from my printer, I've got to get longer cables. And of course, I'm going to need some longer PTFE tube because you can see the doesn't quite reach to the filament there. So of course, I'm going to have to get some longer PTFE tube. That's not a problem at all. I'm ready to go with my 12 color print. I can't wait to get started.
Okay guys, so the next part of the video here, I'm going to try my hand at coloring in Creality Print. Easy enough. I think I'm a beginner at this, so let's go through it together. So here's my model. Drag it in. This is the STL. I just picked a model I thought would be fun to color. I'm not an artistic person, so Eiffel Tower, here you go. Drag it a little bit bigger. I feel like probably it'd be easier to color if I can see it better. So I dragged it bigger, then when I want to print it, I can make it smaller. Now we need to add filaments. So here you go. Plus sign, there you got 4 filaments. You can see I've got, oh yeah, it's a little too big. Let's make it smaller. I've got 4 filaments. Oh, I'm going to make 8. Actually, I'm going to go 16 because you can print up to 16 colors with the CFS. So I'm going to go to 16. I'm going to paint this baby in 16 colors. Okay, you can see they're all PLA right now. That's it. There's an icon at the top that says paint. And you click on that, and on the left you can see our filament paint colors. But on the right, you could change this if you wanted to whichever filament you're using, right? Right now they're PLA, but you can change that there. Okay, so here's the colors. Obviously it's all number 1 right now. So I'm gonna pick number 2, do the fill, because I'm not creative enough to do anything else. I'm just gonna use the fill tool, and you can see it blocks off the sections just like that. You click on them and it fills them in. So I'm gonna use filament color number 2, which is white, but you could change that. And now I'm going to use 3. I'm going to go every other one here. And then I'm going to use 4 and go every other one here. My goal here is to use all 16 colors on this Eiffel Tower. Shouldn't be too hard. Oh, you can see here, you have to drag it around because one of these didn't go all the way around. This is going to be a theme all the way down. We'll probably have to do 4 sides on a lot of things here. So if you didn't do all 4 of these, some of them would print number 1, some would print 4. I'm sure you guys could do a much nicer job of this. See, inside and outside here, you'll notice on this one, this is filament color number 5, and I've got it on the inside and outside of that little archy thing. Okay, now, what am I going to do? Oh, I'm staying with 5, going to do this rim around here. Oh, accidentally hit that, but that's all right. There's an undo tool. Undo tool, there it is. And really, that's basically it, you guys. The rest of this, I'm going to speed up the video here because it's a lot more of the same. You're going to see me try to do all 16 colors and slowly work my way down the Eiffel Tower until I'm using all 16 colors. So let me speed up the video, and then we'll chat again once it's time to slice it. Okay, that was sped up about 8 times. Actually, it was pretty fun to watch. I enjoyed that. Now it's time to slice it. So basically, same old, same old. If you don't know what slicing is, basically this software, Creality Print, this is 5.1, but slicer software makes this into slices that your printer can print. I've shrunk it back down now, even though I've got this set at the K2 Plus, which is huge. I was kind of thinking I would like to set it up, hook it up to one at work, and maybe print it. Well, let's see how long it takes. Yeah, I got to add some supports probably. I like to change the infill here. I never use grid infill. I really like the adaptive cubic. I don't know. And now I'm going to just slice it. Now let's see what happens here and why I don't print this at work. And here you have the answer. Now, although we have a lot of K2 Pluses printing at work, I don't have this much time where I can steal 4 CFS and connect them to one printer. Right now, they're all, I know there's one that has 2 CFS connected to it. The rest are all have one. There's no way I'm going to be able to disconnect them. I was hoping for a few minutes, maybe a couple of hours while I was doing a live stream to print something, but I don't have time to print this. But that's basically it. There you got a 16 color Eiffel Tower. You can see the purge block printed beside it. There's the supports inside, holding up the support areas underneath also. I do love looking at a slicer here. This is taking it down one slice at a time, going, so it shows you each slice of the print, because obviously it's printing one slice at a time, one layer at a time. So each slice is a layer. And then you can even, in a layer, you can see, this wasn't a very good layer to show. Yeah, that was a terrible layer to show. I'm going to go right down to the very bottom layer. Not the top. Well, the top layer might be interesting too. Let's see it. Because it'll show you the nozzle path on that layer. Yeah, the top layer is boring. Never mind. Let's go down to the bottom. The bottom layer is the best one because there you can see the actual layer lines, or the direction of the nozzle is what those lines are. This is the nozzle moving, and then you can drag it and see what path the nozzle will take. So this is going in reverse. So the nozzle is going to start right here. Where am I dragging it? There it is. Okay, it's dragging it around. I guess it has to do a brim first. That's the path the nozzle will take on this first layer. And then it's going to do these 4 corners, the 4 legs. Oh, all that stuff in the middle is all support. Interesting. Now, of course, it does a brim, yada, yada. So then you can go up to the next layer, drag it up to the next layer and see, okay, see that's all support material. And it'll do those, leave the middle of the legs a little hollow. And you can literally go through each layer if you wanted to and see the path the nozzle is going to take. This kind of stuff is kind of interesting. Basically, it's what slicer software does. It helps us to set our printer to do what it's going to do. So you can make changes here if you want to change the thickness of the infill, etc., etc. So I thought it was pretty interesting. I wanted to show you that, but mostly the video was to show you how to color prints with multicolor in Creality Print.